What's going on YouTube? Welcome to episode 147 of the U.S.S. Enterprise D tutorial. I'm Zero Elite and I just want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And also for my new subscribers, don't forget to join the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. Today we've got about a 14-minute episode. We're actually going to be circling back and doing some work on our engines again. I know I told you guys that we were going to be circling back to the engines. Those of you that are on my Discord know what we're about to get into. We're going to be adjusting the front of the engines again, bringing them just a little bit further forward, and then we're also going to be not changing the whole structure of them. We're just going to focus on the front and change this to half slabs. And I don't know, the reason I decided to do this is just looking at the front of it didn't have the curve that I wanted with the full blocks. But you know, at the end of the day, this is nothing more than a suggested add-on. If you're happy with how the front of your engines look, leave them as they are. No need to change them if you don't want to. But I don't know, if something's not right to me, 9 times out of 10, it'll stay with me until I go back and make that change. And what I like to do when I'm working on these ships is I refer back to my source material. So whether that be screenshots or a 3D model of the ship or a physical model, using those references is such an asset to these builds, because you have a point of reference to look at, and it can help you to make your ship or build that much more detailed. And I kept flying around the ship, and the front of the engines just didn't sit right with me. They didn't look, again, like they're quite that long enough, and they also needed a little bit more of a curve. So we're going to be able to achieve that by adding in half slabs in the front. I'll show you guys how to do that. Now with this white terracotta that we added here in the middle, this is just the stretching point that we're going to be doing here. That we're basically bringing it this much forward, and then we're just going to repeat the same process again. Rebuild what we have previously. We're just moving it up forward. So the last time that we did this, we've already gone over this basically, but to recap, we're literally just taking this piece right here and we're moving it up to this point, and we're repeating the same process again, but we're not going to do that all the way. We're going to stop to a certain point, and then we'll start switching things over to half slabs. And it's funny too, because even where I'm at now, the one thing that I'm still not 100% happy with my engines is the red bulb in the very front. It doesn't have the curve that it needs to have, in my opinion anyway. But we're pretty much at the point where there's nothing I can do about it. If I had red half slabs, maybe I can make it work to what I'm thinking in my mind. But at this point, we're just going to focus on the front of the shell. So now we're going to be converting this over into half slabs, which is, it's not going to be super hard. We're pretty much just going to be taking the template that we have with the full blocks and converting that over into halves. But one thing that we want to make sure that we're keeping an eye on here today is our cut lines, because again, I go with the cut. So this is one of the things that helps me to keep my builds accurate and the dimensions of them the same, whether it's the left side or the right side, and also to make sure the patterns meet up, which is going by that cut line. That's going to be really vital to what we're doing today, because since we're pretty much going to be changing up the front dimensions of our engines, we're going to have to rely on that a little bit to kind of guide us in the direction that we need to go. And the reason I say that is because we're pretty much changing up the structure by switching over to half slabs. Not everything is going to line up, and we're going to have to make some minor tweaks here and there to make that work. But again, it all falls into go with the cut line. When you start to do that, you'll realize that it'll make this whole process that much easier. Because again, and the reason why I'm doing 2 and then 2 right here is because if we just went straight across, there would be a gap underneath here on this side. This is the best way I can describe it. If you get stuck on this, let me know. I'll try to help you guys out if I can. I don't think this will be too bad because this will make sense more as we go, because it's pretty much going to be a layered pattern that we're going to do going up. We're starting with the front and we're going to work our way back is essentially what we're going to do here. You can see I'm just taking my time again because slow and steady wins the race. There's no rush. At this point, we're already 147 episodes deep into this thing. Might as well just take our time through and through over the course of this build just to make sure that we do it right. My main reason for doing this is because you don't want to just throw a bunch of blocks down like speed building and then you realize, oh man, this isn't working. I have to go back and make a change. So this is again why I'm just taking my time with this, because we're doing a little bit at a time. We're zooming back, we're going to take a look at it, see if it works. If it works, cool, we'll move on, but if it doesn't work, then we'll make a change. But we do that while we're early in the build, so this way we could try to eliminate as many changes as we possibly can. And you can see I'm getting very careful with especially this part in the build, because at this point now we've come back to the engines I think 3 times. But you know, again, this just shows the dedication that I've had to try to get this as close as I possibly can to a true Galaxy class ship. But I think that you guys will be very happy with how this thing is going to turn out. I just love it. But let's get back in what we got going on here. So now you can see that we're going back up 1 row, and then we're going to, like I said, we're going to work our way back with the half slabs. And again, this is just following our cut line. You follow your cut line, it's going to make this process so simple, I promise you. Because I'm just, basically what I'm doing here is I've started with my front, and then I'm adding half slabs where they're needed, based off of a half slab pattern with the cut line. As long as you follow that, you're going to have a hard time making a mistake right here. This is why I always say with these builds, a lot of it just falls into following a pattern. Whatever that pattern may be, sticking to that, because that pattern is going to help guide you on what you need to do. And it's no different right here. You can see, again, following the pattern, it calls for us to add rows just right here, because, again, we're going with a half slab cut line. And see, that's giving much more of a curve that I've been talking about. It's not perfect right now, but you can see where it's starting to go. And of course, we're going to zoom out, take a look at it. It's not looking too bad. Needs a little bit of work, but the idea is there. No, and I'd actually taken a short break off YouTube videos. I know you guys probably realized I didn't have anything out for about 2 weeks, but that was right around my birthday, and then, you know, I've been doing this, especially this build, you know, has been an over a year-long build for me. And I needed a short break just to recharge for a minute. Because, you know, at the end of the day, I'm doing 4 videos a week, every single week. And then I'm also hopping on Minecraft to record new content for you guys. So I needed a short period of time to kind of just recharge my batteries. Because I'm not even going to lie, um, I'm starting to feel the effects of working on this build as long as I have. You know, it's funny, I said this to my girlfriend just the other day that, you know, I'm I'm not like over the Enterprise D, but I'm over the Enterprise D. And that I'm not like I'm not having a fun time building it, but I'm ready to get through this thing as much as I can, because you know there's other stuff that I want to do, but you know I've made that promise that we're going to finish this thing. So I really want to get all that content that I've already recorded for this ship out there, because I don't want to leave you guys hanging with that, because I'm actually very proud of what I was able to do with this build, considering this was the first Galaxy class I ever made on Minecraft. Um, but you know, still, you know, it's presented its own challenges. It's taking us a little bit to get where we need to be, but that's okay. You know, that's the whole point of building on Minecraft is, you know, at least in my opinion anyways, you know, learning from your mistakes and, you know, ultimately how to become a better builder. This is one of the things I really learned from playing Minecraft over the years. You know, every single build that I do, I learn something from it. Um, I learn how to do things differently. And even then, like sometimes like what you've learned in the past may not necessarily be able to apply to a new build, and that new build's going to present its own challenges. And that was really the case with the Enterprise D, because you know it was funny. I built the Cerritos with the intention of it being a precursor to the Enterprise D, because I looked at the two ships and I thought that the Cerritos had characteristics that reminded me of a Galaxy class, and you know I built that ship out, but it's I laughed because I ended up using everything that I did on the Cerritos. I didn't apply any of it to my Enterprise D build, but I still had I still had a lot of fun working on that ship, and I don't regret it one bit. And that ended up being a pretty big success for me. I had a lot of people join my YouTube channel because of the Cerritos, and but you know it was a little bit of a shorter build. I think the Cerritos ended up only being like 52 or 54 episodes or something like that. But you know, still that was a lot of fun. And you know, there's going to be stuff like that coming in the future. It just doesn't seem like that right now, because we've been like all gung ho with the Enterprise D. But again, you know, I don't want to bite off more than I can chew and work on multiple things at once and take away from the Enterprise D. So I'm really just trying to keep my attention focused on this ship, so that this way, you know, once I say it's done, I can comfortably walk away from the ship and not have any regrets in that regard, where it's like, oh well, you know, I need to do this, I need to do this. It's like we're getting to that point where we've done everything that we need to do. We're not there yet in the tutorial where we're at. We still have some things to do. But as far as where I'm at currently in the build, because I'm much further along than you guys, I've really started to reach that point where there's really not that much more that I can, there's only a couple of things extra that I can do on this thing, and then it's pretty much going to be a done deal. Which gets us into what we're going to be doing next. Unless something significantly changes, Voyager is going to be my next build. If you guys want to get involved with the poll that I have going on right now, be sure to check out the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. I'm doing a poll right now, so click on, once you join the Discord, click on Next Ship Build Poll. You can vote on the next build that you want to see me do in Minecraft. Right now, Voyager's winning by a significant amount, so I don't see that changing. So Voyager more than likely will end up being my next build. But I don't want to say anything for sure until that poll's done. I'm going to keep that poll going until I'm done working on the Enterprise D. The day that I finish the Enterprise D, not on the tutorial, but in real time, I'll put a post up and I'll talk about it in my YouTube videos that I'm not doing the poll anymore when that happens, so you guys still have some time to join in so you can vote. But yeah, once that's closed, then we'll be moving on. And there's also a lot of cool things coming up on the YouTube channel as well. Once we hit 1,000 subscribers, we've got our U.S.S. Enterprise A Star Trek Beyond retrofit tutorial that we're going to be doing. I'm really looking forward to that. Also, I had done a couple of videos on the 3D rendering of that ship, and I told you guys that I'm going to be having a model built of this ship, and I'll be doing a tutorial on how to paint this thing just for fun and do something just a little bit different on the channel. That's actually going to be happening a lot sooner than you guys probably realize. I'll actually have that model in the beginning of July, and then from there I'm going to figure out how to record the videos, because it's going to be a slightly different process than what I do right now, because it's on the computer. This will be live. So that's going to be something that's going to be coming up very, very soon. Could end up being in either July or August, depending on whenever I get all of that together, as far as recording it and all the materials I'm going to need to do it. But that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So there's a lot of cool stuff coming up on the YouTube channel, so definitely be sure, if you haven't already, to subscribe. I can't thank you guys enough for that. And also, we've got reviews coming up for Star Trek Strange New Worlds. I'm a little bit behind. That was mostly because when I took my vacation, I think we were only on episode 2, so I owe you guys some reviews. And I think what I'm going to do, because I'm recording these on Sunday today, I don't know if I'll have enough time to get to my reviews for today. If I don't, then I think what I'm going to end up doing is I might just end up doing the reviews during the week. So this way I'm going to try to basically do all the reviews maybe this week. So this way I can get caught up to where we're currently at, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about there. But yeah, I think this is a good place to stop. We've followed on our path here with our half slabs. We started to fill in some of the area here on our engines. But I think that's going to wrap us up today. We'll pick this up again in episode 148. But I just want to thank you again for tuning in today's episode. And if you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me and supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on so you get notified when those new videos drop. And speaking of new videos, you can always catch my new Minecraft episodes dropping Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and Saturdays as well. But anyway, that's going to wrap it up for me. I just want to thank you all again for tuning in today's episode. I hope everybody has a happy and safe week. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section.